Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another video. Hope you enjoy. Does anyone else struggle to stick to a diet for even one day? This is embarrassing to ask, but I feel so alone in the issue. I always read about people struggling to stick to their weight loss commitments for more than a few weeks or months, but I honestly would be happy if I lasted a whole week. It's as though my brain goes into fight or flight mode the second I decide to even mildly restrict my overeating. I have tried calorie counting, clean eating, intermittent fasting, and other diets, but every time it is the same. I wake up with the intention of sticking to the plan I made, and then almost immediately start having thoughts of quitting. I always rationalize it, like, no, calorie counting is too difficult, just eat 3 meals a day and no snacks. Now we can eat what we want today and start tomorrow. Or, no, intermittent fasting is too hard, just count calories, it's the most reliable, let's start tomorrow. I honestly don't care what I do, as long as it's consistent, but I'm battling with myself every second of the day. Does anyone else experience these intrusive thoughts, and how can I fix it? I feel like an addict. I wish I could tell you something that would make it easier, but I can't. I had the same issue for years, of delaying and delaying and delaying. I can share what worked for me and how I lost some weight. 1. Write down everything that you eat and drink for a week. No diet, no changes, or nothing. Just write it down on a physical piece of paper or in a note on your phone. Be honest and write everything, including all drinks and snacks. You don't need to track calories or even the amounts. 2. After the week, commit to just one permanent change. A tiny one, but just one. It could be replace morning cup of juice with water, or take coffee with milk instead of cream, or even committing to take a small walk after dinner. Any one minor permanent change. And 3. Once you are comfortable with the first change, it could be a week, it could be a month, add one more. Maybe you commit to only one soda a day, or no snacks after a certain time at night. Make them small and not too drastic. 4. Repeat again and again. You could start tracking calories if you want, but I never do. The all or nothing approach caused me to never lose weight, until I could make small, sustainable changes. I had to get the help of a therapist to make the switch in my brain that I didn't have to go all in or nothing on a diet. I did not lose weight fast. It took and is taking forever, but I know I'm much healthier than I was before, which is the most important part. I've lost 45 pounds so far in almost 2 years. I have about 20 more to go, and it may take another 2 years. I've gotten way more confident and so much more active too. Good luck, OP. We're all rooting for you. I did something very similar to this. I just chose one small thing at a time. I've also chosen something, and if I found it wasn't working for me, I would put it on the back burner and choose something else, or take another week to solidify the changes I've already made. My biggest rule was to never be mean to myself. In fact, that was my first change, to speak to myself with love and make positive choices because I love myself enough to treat myself well and never out of a punishment. You can also try adding instead of subtracting. Example, add in a serving of fruit or veggies to every meal. Don't restrict any food, just eat your veggies first. You'll likely eat less overall, and you'll be making good positive changes in your diet without even really meaning to. This happens with me also. I'm one of those people that knows all the tools like the back of my hand, but battle with myself internally. If you have any emotional or psychological triggers around food, it can very much feel like overcoming an addiction, because your brain is wired to do whatever it takes to get you to maintain the status quo. I've started replacing X is hard with the mantra, choose your hard. Calorie counting is hard. Staying unhealthy is also hard. Choose your hard. I think this works for me because 1, it takes the emotions out of my decisions around food, and 2, it brings potential future consequences into the present moment and requires me to make one choice at a time. I thought it sounded super cheesy at first, but it's actually been very empowering and helps quiet the internal struggle, and it becomes easier with practice. I noticed 2 things in your post. 1 is how you immediately give up on your plan. Have a think about what is really going on here. Are you worried that you'll fail, so you fail early to protect yourself from bigger disappointment? Is it a type of self-harm to destroy your goals? Are you trying to be too perfect or too restrictive with no room for adjusting and learning? If you drop your phone screen down, you pick it up and check if it's okay. You don't stand on it to make sure it's smashed because you assume it's already ruined. If you go over your calories one day, there's no need to give up tracking completely and have all the most caloric food because it's ruined anyway. There's no such thing as perfect, and healthy eating is a new skill that you're learning. You don't expect to be perfect at any other skill on day 1. If you can only stick to the plan for like half the week, that's still a huge improvement while your body is adjusting. And then after a while, maybe you do 5 days a week, and then eventually an off day every other week or so. And the second thing I noticed is your intrusive thoughts are really detrimental to how you feel about yourself. I think mental health is as important as physical health. Have you thought about therapy to help with the intrusive and damaging thoughts? Cognitive behavioral therapy sounds like it would be super helpful for you when it comes to making a plan and sticking to it, and some healthy ways to cope with stress that will ease some of the pressure you're putting on yourself. On this channel, I narrate weight loss stories to help those on a health journey. Every single video is uploaded to give you kind of hope and motivation to keep going on your journey, and you'll join our awesome positive community, the Narwhals. So please tap subscribe below. I would really appreciate it. So I struggled a lot with this myself too. I found what works for me is meal prepping and not bringing the bad stuff in the house. I usually take one day to plan and count the calories on my MyFitnessPal for the week. I do 3 small meals and 3-ish snacks. Then I buy only the groceries I need to complete my prep. If I buy extras or things that are not on my plan, I know I will eat them, so I just don't bring it into the house. I'll do all my meal prep on a Sunday for Monday to Friday, and I'll cook fresh meals on the weekend, but only enough to last for that Saturday and Sunday. I literally have to take all other options away from myself to make sure I stick to it, but that's okay. I'm aware of my weaknesses and I've developed a strategy to combat it. Also, I'm trying not to look at this as a diet, but as a lifestyle change that I can continue indefinitely. It's going to take some trial and error, and that's okay. And no matter what you do, you need to make sure it's sustainable for the long term. Every small step is still moving yourself in the right direction. I think a lot of people look at weight loss as a race, wherein you need to lose as much as possible, as fast as possible. It really should be more like a walk in the park. A journey where yes, you might trip and stumble occasionally on the crack in the pavement, but crap man, look at how beautiful that flower is, and can you feel the cool breeze? Good luck. Is something that really helped me, and I need to take my own advice again, so thank you for bringing it up, was to write on my little whiteboard I have hanging up, no sugar for, and then I put 8 check marks. Each day I didn't have sugar, I could erase one. If I did have sugar, I would restart it. I chose 8 days because that is supposedly how long it takes for your body to go through withdrawals. After I got through the 8 days, I would put 13 more marks up so I could see myself through 21 days. 21 days is how long it takes to form a habit if you do it every day. Just knowing that if I ate sugar, I wouldn't be able to erase a check mark really helped keep me on track. I really think that to start, you need to trick yourself into it like that. Usually, sheer willpower without any support or backup just isn't enough. You're embarking on making some major changes. It's a big undertaking, so don't be so hard on yourself, but also do it. What finally helped me lose the weight was changing my diet for a reason bigger than just my pant size. I became a vegan for environmental and ethical reasons, and because I consider the planet and the animals more important than my personal pleasure, which is what a lot of our eating is, it was easier for me to not cheat. I am not suggesting that you should or need to make a change like that, but is there something in your life that you can tie this goal to that will help you remain steadfast in your day-to-day? Do you have children or want to? Is there an activity you've always wanted to do that the weight makes difficult? Finding a reason aside from yourself can help some people who, as was the case with me, didn't particularly like themselves. Another thing that really helped me was shifting my perspective. Life is hard, man, and all we can do is make it less hard for ourselves and for others. Being overweight or obese is awful, and it makes every aspect of your life more difficult. Sleep, self-esteem, work, mechs, dating, child rearing. Feeding yourself an appropriate amount of food and providing yourself with appropriate exercise isn't deprivation. It's a radical act of self-love. When you eat the awful, unhealthy crap that only makes you feel good right now, you're borrowing happiness from future you. When you feed yourself a healthy diet and do some gentle exercise like yoga, you're setting future you up for success. Seriously though, try yoga. So many of us are so out of touch with ourselves and our bodies and how we really feel. The mindfulness of yoga really helped me to understand why I ate certain things when I did and to critically examine if this was something that was serving me. r/yoga with Adrian is amazing and has some great 30-day journeys of self-discovery and self-care that are aimed at every level from beginner to diehard. There is always an internal struggle with everything I feel like I need to do. I am an oil painter, but my natural tendency leans towards procrastination. The best way for me to work my artwork is to tell myself I need to clean my house. I'll procrastinate all day about cleaning, but get a lot of art done. I should mention I am also currently down around 200 pounds, and I understand the struggle with food and dieting. I can tell you this, for 30 years of my life, I lost that battle every day. The same thing, I'd make a diet plan and either give up the first day or maybe just keep it going for a few days and then immediately reward myself for all my hard work by binging. Here is the key. You need to keep the attitude that this is a battle. You have to fight for your life and your health, and trust me, you can do it. Once you've kept up the attitude of saying no thank you, after a week, it becomes your preset. After 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, it becomes who you are, and you can keep it up from there. I was 388 pounds at my heaviest, and I'm 36 years old right now. I never thought I could lose the weight and get healthy, but if you fight, and I mean really fight like you have to win this, you will. Just remember to trust your heart more than your stomach. The temptation never goes away, but you are not alone, and I know you can do it. Good luck. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't joined our amazing community yet, the Narwhals, consider tapping subscribe for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And lastly, here's our featured Narwhal of the day. 2 years apart, reached a healthy BMI for the first time in 10 years. Very happy. Good luck and good job, Narwhals.